Borsalino's attack has finally begun. What's most intriguing is how the Straw Hat crew will manage to depart from Egghead amidst this situation. But I think there's a high probability that Borsalino won't pose a significant obstacle to their escape. The most telling clue is this word, shachiku. Those who understand its meaning might have felt something was off with Borsalino's remarks. Yes, I felt the same. The Marines' ships are surrounding Egghead, but where has Blackbeard's ship gone? The likely reason Blackbeard came to Egghead is because of Seraphim. I suspect they plan to obtain Seraphim amidst the chaos of this incident later on. By the way, although the Seraphim was created using the Lunaria tribe's lineage factor, what exactly is the Lunaria tribe? I think it's related to the race of Nika. Furthermore, a translated version describes Nika's features as awaking exponentially strengthens their rubbery body, and they have even more freedom. However, the nuance is different in the original version. Translating the original version with the right nuance, it reads, awakening bestows further arm strength and freedom to the rubbery body. Look closely at the kanji. It's the wan ryoku, arm strength. This means that with Nika's awakening, it's not the rubbery body that gets strengthened, but the power of the arm. Does this hint at anything to you? I have a clear theory about it, and I'll delve deeper into the subtle nuances of the Japanese language in this video. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Dawn Dusk. In Chapter 1090, it was revealed that Robin, Edison, and Kaku are injured. Given that Robin, along with Atlas and Chopper, was headed to a sealed-off underground research lab, it can be inferred that they engaged in combat with York there. Robin's Hana no Mi abilities were likely essential in capturing York, and she must have sustained injuries during that confrontation. After capturing York, Robin, Atlas, and Chopper probably released Dr. Vegapunk. They might have then used a bubble containing sea prism stone components created by Vegapunk to restrain Seraphim. In the recent chapter, it was revealed that the command to Seraphim by York has not yet been lifted. The most puzzling aspect, however, is that S-Snake was unable to resist Luffy's commands. Seraphim are programmed to only obey direct orders from the 5 elders, Vegapunk, Sentomaru, and Chip owners in that specific hierarchical order. Luffy, being neither Vegapunk nor one of the 5 elders, shouldn't inherently have this control. Yet, as Vegapunk hypothesized, it might be possible that information transmitted through lineage factors made this obedience possible. In fact, Pythagoras, who was observing the battle between the Seraphim and the Straw Hat crew, mentioned, "Is it possible that experiences are recorded within lineage factors?" This suggests that sometimes information from lineage factors might be prioritized over the original programming. Clearly, in the world of One Piece, the power of human will is paramount, and it seems that this will might also be recorded in lineage factors. This might explain events like the laughter of Sindri, who should technically be dead. Perhaps it's a lingering will imprinted upon the body. Considering the thought of the 5 elders that the Zoan-type devil fruits host individual wills, they theorized that the Hito fruit, model Nika, might also be continually evading the world government due to Nika's will. It's possible that the foundation of the power of Zoan-type devil fruits stems from the information transmitted through lineage factors, birthing this so-called will. One of the central themes of One Piece, the inherited will, could also manifest through the power of the devil fruits. This aligns with Sabo's resolution, even before obtaining the flame fruit. We will carry on Ace's will. The fact that S-Snake has feelings for Luffy implies that she might have inherited Hancock's will. This suggests that Hancock's lineage factor was extracted after her encounter with Luffy, likely either during her visit to Impel Down or during the Summit War when 7 warlords convened at Marijois. Either way, this implies that in human years, S-Snake is roughly 2 years old. Moreover, Yanji mentioned in chapter 840 that it takes 5 years to produce a 20-year-old clone, suggesting that clones age approximately 4 years for every 1 calendar year in the world of One Piece. Indeed, while S-Snake is technically 2 years old in human years, her appearance is that of an 8-year-old girl. A question arises regarding S-Bear. While the current Seraphim mainly appear to be around 8 years old, as seen in the SBS, S-Bear noticeably looks older than the others. This might be because Vegapunk had already been using Kuma's lineage factor for his research on the Seraphim, even before obtaining the lineage factors of other members of the 7 warlords. In fact, it seems that the encounter between Vegapunk and Kuma dates back quite some time. This leads us to the intriguing point that Kuma belongs to a unique race. As discussed in this video, Kuma is from the Sorbet Kingdom and the Lunaria tribe to which Albul belongs. Both names seem to represent the sun and the moon, respectively. This suggests that while the Lunaria tribe has a name associated with the moon, Kuma's race might be related to the sun. Let's look at Nika's description. Awakening grants the rubber body even more arm strength and freedom, a power that's said to be the most ludicrous in the world. While gaining freedom through awakening sounds typical of Nika, the addition of arm strength seems to be another significant characteristic of Nika. In the original version, it was not the power of Nika's entire body that was mentioned, but rather the strength of his arm. Scenes showing Nika's arm strength augmenting reminds one of Kuma's arms. Jinbei's accounts suggest that Vegapunk was enamored by Kuma's latent muscular strength, leading me to think there's a connection between Nika's strength and Kuma's potential muscle power. Regarding Nika, as mentioned in this video, the goddess illustrated in the book Kuma holds and the bronze statue in Flavance might be modeled after Nika. This brings to mind the Statue of Liberty. The theme of freedom resonates with both Nika and the Statue of Liberty. The tablet in the Statue of Liberty's left hand recalls the Bible Kuma always holds in his left hand. Moreover, the torch in her right hand is reminiscent of the flames on the backs of the Lunaria tribe members. Albul's mask ornament also slightly evokes the Statue of Liberty. This suggests that Nika might be associated with both Kuma's race and the Lunaria tribe. Personally, I believe there's a possibility that Nika could be an ancestor of both Kuma's race and the Lunaria tribe. I'd like to delve deeper into this in another video. And in the final part of chapter 1090, Borsellino finally made his move. However, personally, I don't believe Borsellino will pose a significant obstacle for Luffy and his crew. This is primarily because there's a chance that he doesn't entirely trust the world government. Consider Borsellino's statement.
空白の100年の研究はかばいきれねえよ、戦闘丸くん。わしは社畜だよ。
The term shachiku is a modern slang term in Japan, often used in a self-deprecating context. It likens oneself to livestock owned by a company, indicating dissatisfaction with their company, but an inability to do anything about it. In Japanese, the term for livestock is kachiku. This is precisely why company employees are often referred to as shachiku. Furthermore, Borsellino's idea of justice is dochi tsukazu no seigi, ambiguous justice. The term dochi tsukazu refers to situations that are not clearly defined or decided. Yet as of now, Borsellino is solidly on the side of the Marines. In Japanese, siding with the world government is phrased as sekai seifu ni tsuku, and siding with pirates is kaizoku ni tsuku. Dochi tsukazu indicates not taking a clear side. Regardless, I don't think Borsellino will support Luffy and his crew, but there's a considerable chance that he might defy the world government's orders or act independently. I personally suspect that Borsellino might assist in helping Sentomaru escape from Egghead in the end. Sentomaru was also summoned by Vegapunk, and despite it being his day off, he was made to report to Egghead. Moreover, he was forcefully coerced by Vegapunk to rebel against the Marines. Such actions are referred to as power harassment or pawahara in Japan. Including Borsellino's Shachiku remark, there are various hints in the Egghead arc that use the inner workings of the Marines to allude to the dark aspects of Japanese corporate structures. Isho would undoubtedly be treated as a maverick if he were in a Japanese company. The owner of this channel chose not to work in a Japanese company for such reasons, instead operating as an independent entrepreneur, working on translations and marketing. Of course, Japan's corporate structure is gradually improving. Based on the story, Sentomaru is essentially a regular office worker. In Japan, such employees are referred to as salarymen. Additionally, I believe Sentomaru's character is inspired by Kintaro. The presence of a weapon called a masakari and the appearance alongside a pacifista, which is based on Kuma, aligns with the traditional image of Kintaro. This brings to mind a particular manga, Salaryman Kintaro. This manga was serialized in Young Jump. Its protagonist becomes a salaryman in a company named Yamato Construction. Incidentally, the manga began its serialization in 1994. Now, let's look at the title of Chapter 994, also known as Yamato. The name Yamato is prominently used. Some of you might have already noticed. What do Yamato and Sentomaru have in common? It's the rope on their backs. This is used in traditional Japanese kabuki theater and is called a neo-dasuki. Perhaps salaryman Sentomaru will be rescued from Egghead by Borsellino and then head to Wano country to meet Yamato. The opening of the Borders event still remains in Wano, and it's anticipated that the world government will try to take control of Wano. Sentomaru might collaborate with Yamato to combat the world government during this time. As for how the Straw Hat crew will escape Egghead, I made a prediction in this channel's first video half a year ago. It's likely the Straw Hat Grand Fleet will come to their aid at Egghead. Given they're currently surrounded by the Marines' warships, the best counter would probably be Orlumbus's Grand Fleet. On his ship, there's a depiction of an egg, so perhaps even a chicken will come. Furthermore, in the video, I theorized the following. During the Egghead incident, the dark secrets of the world government that Kuma possesses might spread worldwide. Kuma's surname is Bartholomew, which in Italian is Bartolomeo. Perhaps he'll play a role in disseminating Kuma's memories to the world. The primary objective of the world government's recent strategy was to assassinate Vegapunk. Despite this, their hesitation to destroy Egghead probably stems from their desire to acquire the Punk Records, the brain of Vegapunk, and the power plant that produces the Mother Flame. This suggests that if the Straw Hat crew manages to escape Egghead with Vegapunk, they would likely go to retrieve the Punk Records and the power plant. They might even try to obtain the Seraphim, who is presumably currently underground. I personally think there's a possibility that the Blackbeard pirates might appear at this juncture. During the Summit War, Blackbeard made his move when both the Marines and the Whitebeard pirates were significantly weakened from battling each other. If a conflict between the Straw Hat Grand Fleet and the Marines were to erupt at Egghead, we might see a similar situation unfold. While it's uncertain whether Blackbeard is aware of the existence of the power plant and Punk Records, he definitely knows about the Seraphim. Blackbeard went to the Island of Women to obtain the Marrow fruit, but couldn't acquire its power due to Rayleigh's intervention. However, if the Blackbeard pirates managed to secure the S-Snake, Blackbeard's objective would be fulfilled. Given that most of his goals have been accomplished thus far, this scenario seems plausible. With an authority chip, Even Blackbeard might be able to control the seraphim. Additionally, Lafitte's hypnotism might come into play as well.